Hello, and welcome to Hazard Suit Gaming's review of Crysis 2. When the original Crysis came out in 2007, the PC murdering system requirements led it to being the unofficial test of a good gaming computer. 4 years down the line, we now have the equally pretty yet far better optimised Crysis 2. Set 3 years after the events of the first game, Number 2 opens in a submarine travelling up the Hudson River, New York. You play Alcatraz, the standard, interchangeable, voiceless, first-person shooter everyman, who in this case is a Special Forces soldier being sent to extract a scientist from the city, which is currently in the middle of an alien invasion. Although as this is a Crysis, certain stuff soon hits the fan and you find yourself swimming out of the sub through the new hole blown in its side by an alien gunship, before being mown down while you try and swim to safety. At the last moment, Alcatraz is rescued from his soon-to-be watery grave by Prophet, one of the main characters from the first game, and taken to safety. He's then kitted out with Prophet's nanosuit, being told he has to carry on the mission because Prophet has caught a bit of the alien flu that's been going around wiping out a lot of New York's population. While this is where the game proper begins, here endeth any reference to the first game or its characters. This would be my biggest criticism of Crysis 2, the inconsistency with the first game. Crysis 1 had a different protagonist who actually spoke and a wider range of support characters whose personalities were well developed over the course of the game and let the player become more involved with what was going on. In Crysis 2 we see one of these characters at the beginning and a short cutscene towards the end of the game explaining what might have happened to the others. Even the aliens in Number 2 look nothing like the ones seen in the original. It's understandable to a point that Crytek would make some of these choices, as this is the first game in the trilogy to be released on the consoles as well as the PC, so the story needs to be more accessible to their new audience. However, it's a shame that fans of the first game get so little explanation as to what's happened in the years between the two plot lines. Narrative aside, Crysis 2 is great fun to play. The nanosuit powers from the first game have been optimised, so overall the gameplay is more fluid, with speed and strength now being ambient powers, leaving only armour and cloak as selectable powers. While this means you spend less time fiddling around with what suit mode you're in, all the power is drained from the same energy source. Despite recharging over time, you really need to think out your tactics before heading into a firefight so you don't run out of suit energy in the middle of no man's land. Weapon customization makes a return. With a larger range of toys to choose from, players can customize their gear to their preferred playstyle. Prefer attacking head-on? Then choose a machine gun with a custom sight or a grenade launcher. Prefer sneaking around? Then put a silencer on your pistol and move around in cloak mode to get silent knife kills. Improving on the first game, the nanosuit can now be customised too, which lets the player further augment their tactics. Be this shortening the amount of time the suit takes to recharge, or adding a threat awareness module which tells you what direction you're being shot at from. Crysis 2's multiplayer is quite strong, with a decent range of game modes and maps. Although instead of finding new weapon attachments in the game world, the usual multiplayer ranking system applies, so you only get access to the decent kit when you reach the higher ranks. This can prove frustrating on occasions, because if you come up against a higher ranked player using all the stealth suit options and the silent sniper rifle, you'll be seeing the kill cam an awful lot. Despite some of the criticism levelled at Crysis 2 by the fanbase, it's definitely one of the best games to come out this year and well worth a go.